which player I do think is going to make it to the England Euro squad. Of course, we have Jesse Lingard. Then I also select Carl Darlow, Barnes, Danny Ings, Callum Wilson, Michael Antonio, Patrick Bamford. He has the balls to pick players that has been in good form. Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. Euro is starting to get closer and closer, and as of today it's only like 85 days left to the opening game, Italy versus Turkey, I think it was. It's of course very unfortunate, this pandemic that will limit supporters from cheering at the arenas this summer, especially for me. You know, I had tickets to Sweden versus Poland in Dublin, but those plans were scratched. Anyways, we're not here to talk about my personal crisis during the corona pandemic. We're here to talk about which player I do think is going to make it to the England Euro squad. The thing with national teams is that the head coach usually uses the same type of players from the qualification rounds to the championship, because you know it's a squad and they are on a mission, and if we have players that are included in the qualification but not in the finals, that's going to be a huge setback for the player, and you know the player is going to feel used, and they're going to feel like the hard work didn't give any result. I mean, we can see, as you guys probably figure out, I'm from Sweden, and we can see that Sweden, you know, they have a great culture of like keeping a combined unit together, and that is why a player like Dejan Kulusevski, who plays in Juventus, having difficulties with finding a spot in the starting 11, because we have 35 years old from the Swedish league starting there, Sebastian Larsson. I got something in my throat, sorry. But anyways, as a Swede, I'm very proud to say that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is making a comeback as a 39 years old. I mean, that is so impressive. And Sweden's chances at the Euros increased a lot by that news. Anyways, let's talk about England, because the thing I found interesting with England, and especially Gareth Southgate, is that he has the balls to pick players that has been in good form. I mean, we can look at Calvin Phillips. I mean, he played a England game before a Premier League game. I mean, that is something I really like about Southgate, and that is why it is fun to make a prediction like this, because I can be so wrong, but in the same time I also could be very right. So that is why this is a fun challenge. So I will pose my prediction like this. We're going through every category. I mean, goalkeeper, defenders, midfielder, yeah, you know, one each, and then I'm going to tell you about the obvious players, you know, the players that could be having a form dip but still will make it to the squad. Yeah, the players that are obvious by any means. And then I'm going to talk to you about wildcards, and that is the players that have played good this season and could have a shot at making it to the squad, but they also could be left out, and I'm going to select which players out of the wildcard list that I think going to make it to the squad. So a few wildcards will be left out. So that's the rules. If you didn't understand, I can't blame you, because I'm very bad at explaining, but I'm sure you will understand when you come into the video. So let's begin. Okay, so we're starting with the goalkeepers, and this is definitely England's weakest spot, I would say. Not because there is necessarily bad players in the squad, but the thing is, England's keepers are very inconsistent, and then we have players like Dean Henderson, who he got some playing time now because De Gea wasn't available, but you know, when De Gea is back, he's going to be back on the bench again, as he has been the whole season long. So that's the thing about England's keepers. But at the same time, I think the goalkeeping position is quite clear, because the competition is very low for the England keepers. So the three keepers England are going to send are Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, and Nick Pope. I think those are the best keepers in England by far. The only competition here is which of those three are going to be the number one keeper for England, but that's a whole nother story. But I actually picked some wild cards just in case some keepers got injured. So we have Sam Johnston from West Bromwich. I think he has been also inconsistent, but at the same time he has saved a lot of points for West Bromwich this season, even though they're like lost or 19th place or something like that. But I think he has done some good saves this season. Then I also select Carl Darlow from Newcastle. I think he has been good due to the fact that he replaced Dubravka as the number one keeper in Newcastle just this season. I mean, Dubravka got like a heel injury, I think. But I think he's been doing well. I mean, nothing spectacular, but he's done his saves and nothing more, nothing less. I think that's decent and should be recognized. Let's move on to defenders. I will start by just listing the most obvious one, the players that's going to make it to the squad. And there's quite a few here, but yeah, let me explain later. We have Harry Maguire, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Eric Dyer, John Stones, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, and Ben Chilwell as the most obvious one. I'm sure some of you like say why is Eric Dyer and Kieran Trippier in the most obvious one selection, but I think I felt like those players are Southgate's favorites, and they have been his favorites ever since he became the England coach. So I think as long as they get playing time in their clubs, I think I'm quite confident that they are going to make it to the squad. If we move on to the wild cards, these are players that have been doing good things this season, but you know, they are still questionable if they are going to make it to the squad. So the wild cards are Connor Cody, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Reece James, Tyrone Mings, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Luke Ayling, Matthew Cash, Aaron Cresswell, Esri Konsa, Fikayo Tomori, Ben Mee, James Tarkowski, and Michael Keane. Yeah, there's a long list here. But I think out of those wild cards, I think two players has the potential to make it to the Euro squad, and that is Luke Shaw and Tyrone Mings. I'm sure some of you may think like, Reece James or perhaps Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but you know, the fact that England has a big surplus of, you know, right defenders, and that make me feel more confident with selecting Trent, Kyle Walker, and Trippier for the Euro squad. I mean, I can also explain why I haven't selected Cody, and that's because I think most Wolves fans are very disappointed, not just with Cody but with the whole team this season. I think I don't think he has performed on the level that we all hoped. And if we compare this to Tyrone Mings, I think he's a big reason. Him and Emiliano Martinez are big reasons why they are not, why Villa is doing good this season. So that is how I'm reasoning with this squad. Let's go to the midfielders. I have only 4 obvious players here, but quite a few wild cards. But the obvious ones are Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Jordan Henderson, and Jack Grealish. I think those are the players that have been performing well for a long period of time now, even though Jordan Henderson have been injured this season, but I think he's still are doing good things, and I think he's going to make it to the Euro squad. But I mean, if we look at the wild cards, we all can agree that this is going to be tough to pick some players. I mean, after many hours of thinking, I actually picked players that I think are going to the Euros. But we can begin with look at the wild cards. We have Jesse Lingard, Phil Foden, James Ward-Prowse, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham, Dele Alli, James Maddison, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ross Barkley, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Harry Winks. I know it's tough to only select a few players out of the stacked list, and I'm so sorry here to everyone that is going to be offended, because I know there's quite a few of you that will be offended, but I don't think the GOAT Lingardinho is going to make it to the squad. I'm so sorry, guys. I mean, this was probably the toughest decision in my life. So no Lingardinho at the Euros, unfortunately, if you ask me. But the player I selected were Phil Foden only. I think he is the player that fits the team best, and the player that can take them as far as possible in the Euros, because they are going to be favorite, and also the fact that they are going to play a 3-4-3 formation means that they're not going to be relying on central midfielders. They are going to be more picky about the wingers and the fullbacks. So that is why I only select Phil Foden. Finally, we're going to the strikers. We can just begin with listing the most obvious one. We have Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane, and Marcus Rashford. I think those are obvious ones for obvious reasons. There isn't much that tells us that those players are not going to make it to the squad, unless perhaps injuries. But England has a lot of options on the striker positions. I mean, we can see it. We can look at the wildcards. The wildcards are Bukayo Saka, Tammy Abraham, Jadon Sancho, Ollie Watkins, Mason Greenwood, Harvey Barnes, Danny Ings, Callum Wilson, Michael Antonio, Patrick Bamford, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. As you see, those players are players that would be probably their country's highest scorer if they were born in any country except England. I mean, I know Michael Antonio talked about changing his nationality to Jamaica, and I also heard something about Aaron wan-bissaka looking out on the possibilities to play for Congo. And I mean, you can't really blame them. I mean, it's not their fault that they were born in England. So yeah, I really feel for them, and it is very sad, but also good for England, of course. But anyway, at the end of the day, I selected 3 out of those players, and the players I selected was Bukayo Saka, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Jadon Sancho. At the end of the day, I think those are the guys that have been performed well all season long, and therefore I think they deserve a spot in the Euros. Even though many players out of the wildcard list have been very good this season, brilliant actually. So just a quick disclaimer before anyone commenting something: Joe Gomez is injured and will probably not be fit until the Euros. And Jamie Vardy has unofficially retired from international games, and that is why those players aren't included in the squad, in my squad. So there is my final Euro squad for England. I will leave it on the screen for a moment. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you liked this video, because this was very fun to make, to pick my own players. And please comment if you think I made the wrong move, the wrong picks, what you would have changed, and comment if you agreed on my selection. Other than that, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell button on. Otherwise than that, I hope that all of you have a good day, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.